I died, choking on my own blood. The taste of betrayal as metallic as the knife my husband plunged into my gut. But death wasn't the end. It was a goddamn reset button, slamming me back into my 25-year-old body. 2 years before that fateful night, with the echo of his whisper, "You were always just the barista bitch," ringing in my skull. Addison Hale. Welcome back to hell. Round 2. And this time, I'm not playing the victim. The first thing I did when I woke up in that cramped Brooklyn apartment, sheets tangled around me like restraints from a bad dream, was vomit. Not from the disorientation, though God. The vertigo of reliving your murder in hyperspeed flashbacks was brutal, but from the rage bubbling up like acid reflux. I stumbled to the bathroom mirror, staring at the face I'd last seen smeared across tabloid headlines. Heiress imposter or gold digger gone wrong? My reflection blinked back, wide-eyed and unscarred. The faint freckles across my nose a cruel reminder of the innocence I'd lost. It was July 4th, 2023. Exactly 24 months before Ethan would slide that ring on my finger and seal my fate. Ethan. My husband-to-be. The golden boy of the Hale dynasty. Heir to Hale Enterprises. A sprawling real estate empire that gobbled up Manhattan blocks like they were cheap appetizers. And his father, Victor Hale, Victor the Viper, as the Wall Street whispers called him, a silver-haired shark in tailored Armani, whose company logo was etched into half the skyline. They'd mocked me from the jump. A cafe job? Sweetheart. That's adorable. Like a hobby for girls who dream too small, Victor had sneered at our first family dinner, his laugh booming like thunder over the clink of crystal glasses. Ethan had chuckled along, squeezing my thigh under the table as if it were all in good fun. But I knew better now. That hobby was my anchor, slinging lattes at the daily grind in Williamsburg, tips enough to keep my student loans at bay while I chipped away at an MBA online. It was honest. It was mine. And it was the first thread they'd unravel to paint me as the fraud. I rinsed my mouth, the cold tap water shocking my senses into focus. No time for hysterics. I had the cheat code, foreknowledge. In my first life, I'd ignored the red flags, the late-night calls Victor took in his study, Ethan's sudden business trips to Miami that smelled like perfume and regret, the way their company's books started bleeding red after a shady offshore deal with Russian oligarchs. I'd trusted them because love is blind, and desperation makes you stupider. But when the feds came knocking, it was my name on the forged documents, my cafe cash-outs, twisted into embezzlement. Ethan testified against me, his eyes cold as he described how I'd seduced him for access codes. Victor pulled strings to bury the real culprits, his own son, and a network of cronies, and I ended up cornered in our penthouse, knife in hand for self-defense. But his version stuck.
Suicide.
They ruled. The perfect cover. Not this time. I grabbed my phone, fingers flying over the screen. First call. My old boss at the Daily Grind. Hey.
Mia?
It's Addison. I'm coming back full-time. And I need you to hold on to every receipt, every shift log.
Yeah.
All of it. Trust me. She laughed, thinking I was joking about some audit. Next, I logged into my banking app, transferring every cent from the joint account I'd stupidly opened in Life One.
Gone.
Then, a deep breath, and I dialed the one person who'd believed me back then, Lena, my college roommate, now a junior prosecutor in the DA's office. Addie? Holy shit. It's been forever. What's up? Her voice was warm, unchanged. I need a favor. Hypothetical. If someone knew about financial fraud before it hit the fan. Could we talk off record? Silence. Then, always for you. Coffee tomorrow. By noon. I was suited up, not in the frilly sundress Ethan loved, but a crisp black blazer and slacks from the thrift store rack, channeling every cutthroat heroine I'd binge-watched on Netflix. I walked into Hale Enterprises' lobby like I owned it, because in 2 years, I would make damn sure I did. The receptionist blinked at me. Appointment. I smiled. All teeth. Tell Mr. Hale his future daughter-in-law is here to discuss family investments. Victor's PA escorted me up, her heels clicking like a countdown. When the elevator dinged on the 52nd floor, there he was, Victor Hale, leaning against his desk, that predatory grin already in place. Addison. Darling. Ethan mentioned you might drop by. What's this about investments? Planning to franchise that little coffee shack? I sat without being asked, crossing my legs. Actually, Victor, I'm here about your little coffee shack problem. His brow arched, amusement flickering. I slid a folder across the desk, prints from public records I'd pulled last night. Whispers of the Miami shell companies already forming. See, I've been reading up. Your Q2 projections look optimistic. And I hear the banks are getting twitchy about those Russian liens. His smile froze. Just for a beat. But I caught it. What are you playing at? Girl? Nothing.
Yet.
But marry into this family. And I'm all in. Partners. Not pretty arm candy. Or I walk. And take my insights with me. He laughed then, a bark that echoed off the glass walls. Insights from frothing milk. Adorable. But sure.
Kid.
Show me what you've got. That was the hook I swallowed twice. In life one, I'd slaved over spreadsheets, uncovering the rot in their books, ghost properties, inflated valuations, bribes funneled through my cafe's POS system to launder it all. I'd confronted them with proof, only for it to vanish. My laptop stolen, my testimony dismissed as delusion. This time, I'd document everything, encrypt it, seed it to Lena in real time. Victor thought he was humoring me, assigning me a junior analyst desk in the basement.
Perfect.
From there, I burrowed like a worm into an apple. Weeks blurred into a grind fiercer than any double shift. Mornings at the cafe, yes. I kept the job, clocking in at dawn, steaming oat milk while eavesdropping on Wall Street brokers nursing hangovers. Their gossip was gold. Hale's overextended on that Jersey waterfront. Victor's daddy issues with the board again. Afternoons in the Hale Tower, poring over ledgers. My MBA notes open on a second screen. Ethan wined and dined me, oblivious, whispering sweet nothings about our future empire. I played along, batting lashes while mentally cataloging his tells, the way his jaw ticked when he lied about client meetings. Victor's mockery evolved into wary tolerance. Not bad for a barista, he grunt, tossing me a bone of praise over lukewarm coffee I brewed in the office kitchenette. But the barbs lingered, family dinners where he'd regale guests with tales of my humble beginnings, Ethan snickering into his scotch. The first crack came in October. A whistleblower tip, anonymous. But I knew it was one of Victor's jilted VPs, hit the SEC. Hale stock dipped 3%. Victor called an emergency meeting, his face a thundercloud. Addison, your insights better be worth the ink. I stood at the conference table, 20 execs in suits staring like I'd crashed the party. It's the Miami deals, I said flatly. Offshore trusts masking repo agreements. If you unwind them now, quietly, you cut losses at 15 mil. Drag it out. And it subpoenas by Christmas. Murmurs rippled. Victor's eyes narrowed. Calculating. How the hell do you know this? I shrugged. I pay attention. And I talk to people. Truth, I'd charmed the IT guy with free cappuccinos. Slipped him a USB with Lena's encrypted contact. By week's end, the deals were severed. The dip reversed. Victor clapped me on the back, his first genuine touch. Maybe you're not just eye candy after all. Ethan proposed that November. On a yacht off the Hamptons. Fireworks exploding like false promises. I said yes. The diamond winking like a taunt. Wedding planning became my Trojan horse. Vendors with loose lips. Caterers who'd overheard Victor's rants about bleeding cash to keep the peasants happy. I wove a web. Threads of intel spun into a digital vault only I could access. Lena met me weekly in dive bars. Her prosecutor's badge tucked away. This is explosive. Addy. Embezzlement. Money laundering, it's RICO territory. But you sure you want to burn it all? Her eyes searched mine. They killed me once, I whispered. The words tasting like bile. This is resurrection. By spring 2024, Hale Enterprises was a house of cards I was propping up and picking apart. Victor leaned on me harder. His mockery morphed into dependence. Addison, darling, brew your magic and fix this quarterly. Handing over reports laced with subtle audits. Flags on the Russian ties that could unravel everything. Ethan, meanwhile, grew restless, late nights at clubs, lipstick on collars I pretended not to notice. The betrayal simmered. A pot ready to boil. I started dating the exits, quiet applications to rival firms. A side hustle consulting for small businesses on ethical financing. The cafe remained my sanctuary. Mia my confessor. Girl, you're glowing. But those shadows under your eyes?
Spill.
I'd laugh it off. Just wedding jitters. The wedding was June. A spectacle at the plaza, $2 million Victor insisted on footing. As if buying my silence. Vows exchanged under crystal chandeliers. Ethan's kiss tasting like whiskey and deceit. Honeymoon in Tuscany, sun-drenched villas where he fucked me like it was conquest. Not love. I played the blushing bride. But at night, alone with my tablet, I'd email Lena updates, wire transfers to Cayman accounts. Victor's signature on falsified deeds. It's airtight, she texted back. We move when you're ready. Fall brought the storm. Hale's big bet, a luxury condo tower in Hudson Yards, hit snags, permits delayed by EPA probes into questionable soil samples. Victor blamed activist bullshit, but I knew, a rival developer, tipped off by my anonymous leaks. Stock plummeted 12%. Emergency board meeting. Victor pacing, sweat beading on his brow. Addison, your turn. Banks are circling like vultures. I laid it out, restructured debt. Divest non-cores.
And
approach Vanguard for a bridge loan. I have a contact.
lies.
All of it. Vanguard was Lena's old firm. My contact was a plant. Victor nodded. Desperate. Make it happen. That's when the controversy ignited. Whispers in the press. Hale heiress, barista to boardroom savior. Tabloids feasted. From froth to fortune, Addison's rise. Feminists hailed me as a boss babe. Conservatives sneered social climber. Online forums erupted. She's sleeping her way up. Classic gold digger. Ethan laughed it off publicly, but privately, his grip on my arm bruised. Tone it down.
Addie.
Dad's sensitive. Victor called me into his office post-article.
Doorschlemming.
What the fuck is this? You think you're hot shit now. His face purpled, veins throbbing. I built this empire on my back. You're the entertainment, the old venom, resurfacing. I met his gaze. And you're welcome. By winter, the loans came through, $500 million at predatory rates. My negotiation, ensuring clauses that'd choke them if payments lagged. Victor threw a gala to celebrate. Black tie at the Met. Champagne flowing like their lies. I wore red. A slash against the neutrals. Ethan's hand possessive on my waist. Toasts rang. To Addison, the unsung hero. Laughter.
Claps.
But in the powder room, I overheard Victor to his consigliere lawyer. Keep an eye on her. Girl's too smart for her own good. Ethan, slurring nearby. She's mine. Dad. Relax. The breaking point hit in March 2025. Russian partners pulled out, sanctions biting harder. Their investments evaporating like mist. Hale's liquidity cratered. Suppliers halted. Workers walked. Victor's calls to me turned frantic. Addison. Fix this. You're the wizard. I did. Patching with high-interest lines from shadow lenders I'd vetted. Terms I'd buried deep. Penalties that'd compound like interest on a grudge. Ethan spiraled. Coke-fueled rages. Accusations flying. You're changing? Addie. Scheming behind my back. One night, he grabbed my throat. Breath hot. Who the fuck are you? I twisted free. Eyes cold. Your wife. For now. Lena's signal came in April. Green light. Indictments drafting. I scheduled the drop. A girls' weekend in the city. USB in my purse. But paranoia clawed. Shadows in rear views. Ethan's phone ping syncing to mine. On the drive to the meet. Rain sheeting the windshield. My phone buzzed.
Victor.
Addison. Emergency. Boardroom.
Now.
Heart pounding. I detoured to the tower. Elevator up. The ding like a guillotine. They were waiting, Victor at the head, Ethan beside him, flanked by security goons in ill-fitting suits. No board, just family.
Seat, Victor commanded.
I did. Spine steel. We know, he said, sliding photos across, me with Lena. Cafe chats recorded. My laptop open to the vault. Ethan's work, hired PIs. Backdoors in my cloud. Treason in the family, Victor sneered. Thought you were one of us. But you're poison. Ethan leaned in. Eyes glassy. Why? Addie, we gave you everything. Rage ignited. Pure and white hot. Everything? You mocked me. Used me. Killed me. The words slipped, past tense. A slip. Their faces blinked. Then Victor's twisted. Killed? What the hell? I laughed.
Bitter.
Doesn't matter. It's done. I hit send on my phone, backup trigger. Files flooding Lena's inbox. CC to the Times.
Sick.
FBI. Sirens wailed distantly. Or maybe in my head. Ethan lunged first. Hands around my neck. You bitch. Security piled on. But I fought, nails raking. Knee to groin. Victor watched. Calculating. End it quick, he muttered. The struggle blurred, Fists. Grunts. The carpet burning my skin. A gun appeared, Ethan's, from his ankle holster. For the family, he whispered, barrel cold against my temple.
Bang.
Darkness again? No, chaos.
Shouts.
Blood, not mine.
Lena's team.
Bursting through. Badges flashing. Federal agents. Hands up. Taser wires sang. Bodies thudding. Victor cuffed. Sputtering. This is a misunderstanding. Ethan on his knees. Gun kicked away.
Sobbing.
She set us up. I rose. Shaking. The room spinning. Lena pulled me aside. You okay?
Nod.
They confessed.
She grinned.
On tape. Your bugs were genius. The fallout was biblical. Hale Enterprises imploded. Assets seized. Stock to pennies. Victor indicted on racketeering. Facing life. Ethan flipped. Plea deal for 20. But the tabloids crucified him. Heiress Avenger. Inside the Hale betrayal. Controversy raged. Was I hero or vigilante? Protests outside the courthouse. Justice for the barista versus corporate witch hunt. I testified. Voice steady. Recounting the mockery. The frame up. The murder I'd survived in spirit. In the end, twist of fate. The judge. A woman who'd sipped my lattes years back. Sentenced with a nod my way. Victor's last words. From the dock. You were nothing. I leaned in, mic catching it all, and now you're less. Life too reset me. But victory tasted bittersweet. The cafe? I bought it. Expanded daily grind chains popping up. Empowering women in the trades. No ring. No empire. Just me. Addison Hale. No longer haunted. But on quiet nights, the echo lingers. That knife's twist. The reset's price. Revenge isn't clean. It's a scar that itches forever. Months after the indictments, New York chewed up the Hale scandal like a street hot dog vendor grinding gristle. Front pages screamed, Empire of Lies crumbles, barista bride's revenge. I dodged paparazzi in oversized sunglasses and hoodies, ducking into the Daily Grind's back alley like a ghost haunting my own life. Mia had turned the place into a fortress, bulletproof glass on the windows. No comment sign swinging from the espresso machine. Girl, you're famous, she'd say, sliding me a black coffee. Extra shot. Infamous, I'd correct. But the tips jar overflowed with notes. You're my hero. Fuck the patriarchy. One even had a lipstick kiss and date me?
Hero.
The word chafed. In the mirror of my new loft, paid for with settlement cash from Hale's frozen assets, I saw a woman who danced with devils and lived. But the nightmares clung. Ethan's eyes. Wild with betrayal. Victor's laugh. Mocking from the grave of his legacy. I'd wake gasping. Fingers tracing the phantom scar on my abdomen. Reincarnation's gift was clarity. But the cost was this, eternal vigilance. Trust evaporated like morning fog. Lena pushed for therapy. PTSD doesn't discriminate. Addie. Even Avengers need backup. Our sessions were in a nondescript office in Midtown.
DR.
Reyes, a no-nonsense Latina with a stare that peeled layers. Tell me about the mockery, she'd prompt. I'd recount the dinners. Victor's booming baritone. Addison's lattes could use more bite, much like her ambition. The tables tittering. Ethan's hand on mine. Squeezing too hard. It wasn't just words, I'd say. It was erasure. Like my work, my world, didn't count unless it served them.
Dr.
Reyes nodded. And the revenge? Did it fill the void? I'd pause. The truth bitter. It salted the wound. Publicly, I spun it into empowerment. TEDx invite, from tip jar to takeover, reclaiming your worth. Standing under spotlights. Voice steady. I unpacked it all, no gore.
Just the grind.
They called my job a joke. But that joke taught me resilience. Observation, the quiet power of being underestimated. Applause thundered. But backstage, nausea hit. Controversy brewed online. Barista boss trending with memes of me as a caped crusader. Countered by Hail Innocence decrying feminist hit job. Fox News called me vindictive climber, sin, whistleblower icon. I ignored it, focusing on the rebuild. The loans, that was the controversial crux. Post-collapse. Hale's remnants splintered, subsidiaries auctioned, employees scrambling. Victor, from his Rikers cell, orchestrated a Hail Mary through lawyers, emergency bridge financing to salvage core assets for creditors. And who did they call?
Me.
The prodigal daughter-in-law, now sole heir to the irony. His attorney, a weaselly type named Hargrove, cornered me at a charity gala, irony of ironies, benefiting white-collar crime victims. MS.
Hale.
Mr. Victor extends an olive branch. A modest proposal. Consult on restructuring. Compensation generous. I sipped my gin, eyeing him over the rim. Consult? Or beg? Hargrove flushed. The board, former associates, values your acumen. The terms include equity.
Lies.
I'd seen the filings, predatory clauses, backdoor equity grabs to spring Victor on bail. My decision? Pure controversy. I agreed, publicly. Press release. Addison Hale to lead Hale Enterprises turnaround. Stocks twitched up 5%.
Feminists skired, skeptics hovled Stockholm syndrom.
Lena warned. You're poking the bear. Bears in cages can't bite, I replied. Diving back in was masochism wrapped in strategy. The new Hale HQ, a leased floor in a WeWork knockoff, buzzed with ghosts, old desks, faded logos. I assembled a team, mostly ex-employees I'd poached with fair wages and no NDAs. We're building clean, I told them at the kickoff. No shadows. But Victor's tendrils lingered, coded emails from inmates, friendly tips from ex-cronies angling for cuts. The loans poured in, $200 million from venture vultures. Rates I'd negotiated down to survivable. Controversial move 1. I funneled 20% to a worker retraining fund, drawing fire from shareholders. Bleeding heart bullshit, one op-ed thundered. But the PR glow? Undeniable. Hale redemption trended. Ethan's shadow loomed larger. From his plea bargain limbo, house arrest in a Jersey McMansion, he started writing. Letters. Smuggled via Hargrove. Addie. I was weak. Dad poisoned me. Forgive. Attached photos, him in sweats, looking broken.
Dr.
Reyes called it hoovering, abuser's vacuum pull. I burned them, but doubt flickered. In life 1, I'd loved him fiercely, blind to the rot. Was this karma's twist? Or my weakness resurfacing? The climax brewed in July. Heat wave turning the city into a pressure cooker. Victor's trial loomed, his emergency loan gambit was the lifeline. Board meeting. Me at the helm. 20 suits sweating in AC that wheezed like a dying man. Proposal, I announced. Projector humming. Slides, streamlined ops. Green initiatives. Ethical audits. Applause.
Tentative.
Then, the kicker, and divestment from legacy holdings the Miami Shells. Russian ties. Full transparency.
Gasps.
A bored vet, grizzled and loyal, slammed his fist. That's suicide. Victor built this on those deals. Chaos erupted, shouts of betrayal, ungrateful whore. I let it burn, then quieted them with facts, or face Rico 2.0. Your choice. Hargrove called that night. Voice oily. MS.
Hale.
Reconsider. Victor's offering. Partnership. Family. I laughed, the sound echoing in my loft. Family? Tell him the barista's brewing poison this time.
Click.
Twist came at dawn. A knock. FBI. Badges gleaming. MS.
Hale.
We have reason to believe. My heart stopped. Evidence tampering? No. Victor's cellmate, flipping for immunity, named me in a conspiracy. Lies. Planted to discredit. Lena swooped in, quashing it. But the damage? Mud stuck. Headlines. Avenger or accomplice? I went dark. Holing up with Mia. Baking scones like therapy. Fuck, she said. Flour dusted. You're free. But freedom's illusion shattered 2 weeks later. Emergency call. Hale's vaulted server farm. Firewalled secrets.
Hacked.
Leaks flooded dark web. Not just Victor's crimes, but mine, the anonymous tips. The bugs. Ethan's doing. From his ankle monitor. He called then. Voice cracked over a burner. You destroyed us.
Addie.
Now watch. My vault cracked open. Personal horrors spilling. Therapy notes. Cafe ledgers twisted to imply fraud. Even doctored photos of me with Lena. Implying affair. Panic clawed. Controversial decision, too. I went nuclear. Live stream from the loft. Unscripted.
Raw.
New York. Listen up. They called me nothing. A cafe girl mocking her dreams. They betrayed me. Tried to bury me. Twice. No details of death, just the pain. But I'm done hiding. Here's the truth. I uploaded everything. Clean files.
Timestamps.
My side. Views exploded. Millions. Truth from the grind trended global. Donors poured in for my foundation, empowering undervalued workers. Victor's loan plea?
Denied.
Board ousting him posthumously from influence. Ethan's trial fast-tracked. He cracked on stand, sobbing. She was the monster.
Jury didn't buy it.
25 years. Victor, raging in orange, got life.
Me?
Cleared, but scarred. The cafe chain thrived, a network of safe spaces. I dated a quiet accountant.
No empires.
But on anniversaries, July 4 THS, I'd stand on my balcony, skyline mocking back, and whisper to the ghosts, we won. But at what cost? A year post-leak, the dust settled into a strange normalcy. The daily grind franchises dotted the East Coast, Brooklyn flagship a pilgrimage site, walls papered with fan art, me as a steaming coffee goddess. Sword in froth. I ran it lean. Profits split with staff equity.
No Victor's nerves.
No Ethan squeezes, just the hiss of steam wands and laughter over pour-overs. Mia co-owned now. Her tattooed arms a badge of our survival. To the underdogs, we'd toast. Clinking mugs at closing. But normalcy, was a fragile truce.
Dr.
Rhea's up sessions to twice weekly. The victory high crashed into isolation. Friends ghosted. Too dramatic. Dates fizzled. You're intense.
Addie.
Like carrying a war inside.
Fair.
The war never ended. It just went underground. Lena climbed to ADA. Our brunches dissecting cases over Eggs Benedict. You're my white whale story, she'd joke. The one that got away with style. Controversy lingered like bad aftertaste. A Netflix doc pitched, brewing betrayal. I passed too raw. Instead, I wrote a book. Ghost-free, latte lessons, undervalued to unbreakable. Bestseller. Of course. Tours meant spotlights. Q&As where crowds probed. Was the revenge worth it?
Ide pausa.
Honest. It was necessary. Worth? That's the scar talking. Signings ended with hugs from women whispering. You made me quit my toxic job. That healed.
In be in.
The final twist slithered in November 2026. Crisp leaves crunching underfoot as I walked to a board meeting, not Hale's carcass, but my own venture, Grind Equity Partners, a microlender for small biz dreamers. Victor's old haunt, the 52nd floor, now ours, glass walls etched with coffee bean motifs. Irony? Delicious. Agenda: approve a loan package. Then, Hargrove again. Uninvited. Lurking in the lobby like a bad sequel. MS.
Hale.
A word. His suit hung looser. Eyes hollow. Victor. He's gone. Heart stutter? No, relief. Sharp as espresso. Cancer.
Fast.
Last words. Per the will. Tell the barista I was wrong. Hargrove slid an envelope. Codicil. Leaving me his personal effects. Ledgers. A letter. Inside. Victor scrawl. You won. Addison. But know this. Ethan wasn't the knife. I was. From the start. Forgive?
No.
Understand? Maybe. Clipped article enclosed. My first insights memo. Yellowed. Annotated in red. Smart girl. Too smart. I burned it that night. Ashes swirling in the loft's fireplace. Understand? He'd groomed Ethan. Poisoned the well. Mockery his weapon to keep me small. Compliant. The betrayal's root. Not just greed. But control. Generational rot. My death. Collateral in his empire's defense.
No absolution.
But closure's whisper. Ethan's appeal denied. He wrote once more. From Supermax. I see you now.
The real you.
Wish I'd brewed with you. I didn't reply. Instead, at his hearing virtual, me testifying remotely, I said, you called my job a joke. It saved me. Yours? It damned you.
Gavel fell. Done.
Ending?
Nota idibau.
Happy tinged tragic. I thrived. But alone. Echoes of what-ifs. A partner emerged slow.
Steady.
A barista from my Williamsburg days. Now manager. We bonded over shifts. No rush to rings. You're enough, he'd say. Hand in mine. And on quiet mornings, steaming milk, I'd smile at the mirror, unscarred, unbroken. Reborn not just to revenge, but reclaim. The Hales mocked the cafe girl. But she built the empire. And in America's grind, that's the ultimate fuck you.